Hey, Natsu here. Today I'm going to do my next part on with Deku. It had spiral power. In the last part, I ended it right after the test with All Might. I said I would skip over the attack on the school, and we don't have a specific amount of time that passed between the start of the school and the USJ. But I'm sure it's more than like just 2 days later or something like that. Because, it's kind of short. So I'm going to say it's about a week. Reason I'm saying that is actually because I want to say that Deku's quirk, spiral power, is starting to affect the others at the same time, as well as him starting to develop Black Whip. It's not super powerful yet, but basically it's as strong as it is in the manga, and remember, it's also a bit upgraded with his strength, mostly thanks to spiral power. It's not yet modified, it's still just Black Whip, just pretty powerful, and during that week, Deku kind of learned to control it. Not perfectly, but he's still able to basically launch them, and other stuff like that. He can grab stuff. He doesn't know the full extent of it yet. But yeah. For the other people that are affected by his quirk, there's Aizawa, that kind of started to get upgraded a bit. Basically now, he looks at someone, as long as his eyes are opened, they will not have their quirk. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's kind of late, but yeah. So basically, when he closes his eyes, normally in the original, what happens is that the quirk comes back. Now it's going to start actually taking a bit of time before that happens. And what I mean by this is that for now it's only basically like 5 seconds or so, which is pretty freaking big when you think about it in the middle of battle. He doesn't know that yet. He's actually going to learn that, like, in this. Ochako, her quirk is also being upgraded, but she doesn't know it. Basically, what's happening is that if she wanted to, her quirk actually starts to be able to not just reduce gravity, take away gravity, it can just reduce it or augment it on someone. It's really not powerful yet, because remember, it's only been a week in total, so, or around a week. Yeah, so basically what's happening is that all of them, their quirks are getting better thanks to Deku, as well as their body. but just to a super small amount for now. Like, each of them are being upgraded since Spiral Power is also getting augmented over time in Deku's body, making him stronger over time, as well as making the power he gives to others stronger over time, and it comes faster. So basically, in a week, having that is pretty big, but he has a huge amount that's basically being given to him constantly, and everyone's getting upgraded thanks to it. So, Deku and the others don't know about the upgrades. I'm actually going to explain all of them in my next part. Basically, I'm just going to say the 4 that are actually going to come in. So, the gravity thing actually is going to let her, basically, she's going to remove the weight on someone, but she's going to want the weight to be a lot lighter. So basically, he's not just going to float, he's basically going to start going up. Instead of having the gravity reduced, it's basically going to be reversed on the person. Aizawa, he's going to, like I said, his quirk basically allows him to stop someone from using his quirk for 5 seconds after he stopped looking at him, as well he was looking, making his quirk quite powerful, in fact. So, damn it, I forgot. Let me just read a bit. Okay, yeah. The last person that the quirk is actually going to be used in this, well, the upgraded version, is actually going to be for Kirishima. What his quirk allows him, well, what the upgraded version of his quirk will do, and it basically will only be extremely small when he's going to use it. Basically, it's going to be apparent, like, we would be able to know it, but nobody else sees that it's happening. Basically, his hardening is going to get stronger, firstly, but also he's going to be able to pass it to someone else. Basically, like, he hardens his body, touch someone or something, and basically it hardens with him. So it's going to be less than him, and for now it's basically only going to be passed to something, basically augmenting a bit its resistance, basically making the attack that it's going to, well, basically what's going to happen is basically going to be a bit changed thanks to that. So, after all of that time of talking, let's go to when it starts. This is going to be in 2 parts. Part 2A and Part 2B. Because the USJ is going to be around an hour long, and with this new recorder, 40 minutes is basically extremely long already on it. So yeah. So Deku and the others are in the bus and are basically talking about their quirks, asking Bakugo and Deku basically how much do they know each other, which they then explained that Deku was deemed quirkless at first. Well, everyone knows about Black Whip now because he basically said that it just showed up, which multiple people were kind of like, what do you mean showed up? Except Bakugo, because basically for Bakugo he saw Deku pass from quirkless to having the quirk that allows him to heal during battle and do drills. Then he got one for all, and then basically that. So for Bakugo, he's basically just thinking, you just get quirk over time? Dude, you're OP, seriously. That's not cool. Everyone basically understood after that okay, so he started without a quirk and deemed quirkless until he basically got one out of nowhere. So basically nobody finds it strange because that's basically how Deku's body was doing it all that time for them, all for Bakugo. Um, After that, there's well, actually, that they then asked them um, how do they know each other? How strong are they? Blah blah blah. And both of them explained that they weren't going all out during the hero versus villain because they didn't actually want to bring down the building, even though they almost did because they kind of started to actually do go all out, which someone kind of laughed nervously because, yeah, no, you really almost took it down. Then Bakugo said that his it is still pretty good because over time, just being around Deku and actually training, he increased the capacity of his quirk. Because at first it was only for his hand, but it basically started getting um, further up his arm, basically increasing over time and getting stronger, and now both him and Deku are immune. Just for now, nobody basically got that Deku can boost other people. Because all of them are training, but basically all they know is that Deku and Bakugo trained together, and Bakugo was able to use more of his quirk. So they don't really see it as something like well, they don't see it yet as Deku's helping people improve. So they kind of just go for now. They arrive at the USJ. They meet 13. They get explained what's going to happen here, what they're going to do. After entering and going for a while, they actually see the portal open in the middle of the USJ, the electricity cutting out, and then the villains coming out. Everyone basically starts freaking out a bit until Aizawa tells everyone to get to the door and tells 13 to protect the kids. He's going in. He basically starts using his quirk, does stuff, and this is the first moment he realized that Basically, he tries to stop someone. Um, he has trouble. He has to close his eyes. The person basically knows that um, he can't keep his eye open for long. And the moment Aizawa closes his eyes, he's sure he's going to eat it. He opens them again, and he just sees the person basically trying to use his quirk, but isn't. And basically just realized that something's weird. He doesn't get, for now, that his quirk improved, but he does think it's weird that the person didn't actually use his quirk to attack him while he basically stopped. Kurogiri gets told to stop the children, so he basically does like in the anime. Shiro starts, well, everyone starts attacking the same way, except that Deku's there to help a lot more. They find the weak spots, which, in contrast, in the anime, this is where Kirishima's upgrade, as well as Ochako's upgrade, basically those two at the same time. Basically her grabbing Kurogiri and removing the gravity. It basically uses the upgrade at the same time, making him lighter than just removing gravity completely. He basically gets reverse gravity a bit, starts going up. Shiro tapes Kurogiri collar, tapes Kurogiri's collar, and this time it's Kirishima basically grabbing the tape to spin it around while using hardening to basically make sure he can hold on to it. And he doesn't see it, but Deku did realize it, as well as Bakugo, because those two basically observe practically everything 24/7. Like, they make sure to observe their surrounding. So, they see that the tape itself basically hardened a bit. Not fully same strength as Kirishima, far from there, but basically like just strong enough to make it not pliable. And they basically, and Kurogiri gets spinned around and thrown away. They get to the door, and opening it was, actually they didn't even open it. They basically got to the door. Since in this one, there's two people that are massively stronger, so Kurogiri didn't have time to teleport everyone. Actually, he didn't have time to do that yet, since both Bakugo and Deku were basically pushing him away while he was trying to do it. Not by anything normal, basically. It was basically thanks to Bakugo making massive explosion, basically destroying the darkness itself from Kurogiri. And Deku basically using Black Whip with One for All, making huge air waves with all of those whip inside of it, basically grabbing, pushing away Kurogiri simply because it was touching the collar. So, after they basically arrived at the door, Bakugo basically just blew it up. Ida was able to escape, and this is the moment Kurogiri is finally able to grab people and send them away. Basically, everyone that was teleported were teleported, and the other one were able to escape. outside. They wanted to go back in to help. Kurogiri was about to go to try to grab them as well, until um, Shigaraki told him to come back and that just those ones would be okay for now. So he left them alone. Ida is a bit faster, but basically it saves him like 4 seconds, so yeah, it's nothing much. So they basically, everyone that get teleported are exactly at the same places as they were in the original. All of them just so much stronger than nothing changes, to be honest. Like, this super small amount of change and increase in strength that they have is so small that it's basically not even noticeable unless you check their strength to the exact amount, which even then would pretty much be looking like an increase that you would normally get in like twice the amount of time only when it comes to strength. So basically just say them a week of training, but nah, it's not really seeable in the change. After basically being teleported everywhere, Deku gets dropped in the ship zone. He basically makes a drill and basically just spins it around under him, not to try and throw himself further, but literally making he made a big one and was basically forcing it to go around extremely fast, basically making kind of like a wormhole, but without all of the normally necessary amount of hole in the middle. So basically all of the water was turning around it, and after a certain amount of time basically water was being pushed away from it, so it looked, it literally made a wormhole in the middle. Tsuyu was able to grab Mineta and jump away, um, taking them out of there. They were on the ship zone, on the ship. So they were spinning around, but it was way less than what those that were directly in water were. Bakugo was basically decimating the place where he was sent with Kirishima. So, yeah. Deku basically, after completely spinning the entire thing around, basically went to the shore. Tsuyu and Mineta were there. Shigaraki saw them and basically told the Nomu to attack. The Nomu tried to do it, which is about where Deku basically saw the Nomu, saw Tsuyu and Mineta, and instantly all that was in his head was, protect them. Because a monster basically coming towards him, he knows that if he's fighting, he can survive anything that the monster throws at him. Which isn't true, to be honest. Yes, he will fight against him. Yes, he will survive it, but it won't be as easy as he's thinking. So, Deku basically arrives in it and basically places himself in front of them. Shigaraki tells the Nomu to end him. Aizawa stopped the Nomu's quirk, thinking that it has a super strength quirk. In reality, it just helped Deku do one thing, basically take out his drill, put one for all in it, and basically pierced right through the arm, doing some damage to the Nomu, but it basically just regrew. So after that happening, the Nomu basically punched Deku away, breaking his arm in the process, basically because he protected himself. After protecting himself, the arm just regrew because he is in battle and went straight back on the offensive. Aizawa basically had already stopped using his quirk because he was literally out of energy, wasn't able to do anything anymore. The Nomu basically having full access to his quirk, since Aizawa stopped him. He had his eyes open for like 2 seconds until he wasn't able to keep it anymore, then 5 seconds for the Nomu's quirk to basically come back. When they did, his arm regrew, which scared the shit out of Deku. And so the fight started until All Might arrived. All Might basically just kind of arrived. Shigaraki saw him. He told Anomu to attack All Might, and it was about to go. I'm going to end it here, though. So this is part 2A. In the next part, I'm going to do the second part of the USJ with basically All Might's there, but Deku's still going to fight a bit against the Nomu. As well as something else going to happen in this one. Well, in the next part. So, hope you liked it. Leave a like if you did. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. I'm going to see if I can answer them. If I can, I'm going to do it. So, yeah, I'm going to leave a link to my Discord in the description. Come and join us if you want. So yeah, Natsu out.